guys, and welcome to the Sunderland at First Watford match preview. So Sunderland do go into what is arguably the biggest game of the season so far. I mean, if we win this game, then the next game is going to be the biggest game of the season so far. So they're just going to get bigger and bigger, and it is going to be a huge occasion at the Stadium of Light. As recording this right now, it's only, I think, a couple of hundred tickets away from a sellout, unless they give us some of Watford's allocation, because I don't know how Watford fans are going to travel to this game. I know as of right now, Watford fans really aren't happy, and rightly so. We will start with Watford. You know, despite their pretty horrendous run of form, I think if you have a look at their sort of results, just sort of as black and white, you know, they've won 2 out of the last 11, I believe, you know, with plenty of losses in there, but there's still only, I think, if they win their last couple of games of the season, they're on 59 points. I think if they win their next couple of games, technically they could still get into the top 6, but I think with fixtures it means that they can't. So they're essentially out of the playoff race, should I say, but I'm just mean on a technicality. If they win their next couple, if you give them an extra 6 points, then they would jump into the top 6 as it stands, but that it basically can't happen. Basically just trying to say how close it is, because between 6th, which is where we sit, and I think 12th, only 3 points separate us, so anything can happen. It is insanely tight at the moment. But like I say, Watford, you can't take them lightly, because they do, despite and regardless of what Watford fans think, like I say, I've seen a lot of Watford fans on social media, they are incredibly unhappy. They feel ultra confident, super confident that they're going to lose this weekend, from what I've seen in different podcasts and social media, like I say. But regardless, they do have dangerous players within their squad, and I expected them to be thereabouts. You know, come the end of the season, it hasn't turned out that way, only just. But, you know, with João Pedro, if he's on form, is Sarr as well, who's a fantastic footballer. You know, if he turns it on, if either of them turn it on, then we're going to be in trouble, you know, particularly with our sort of defensive frailties in terms of lack of defenders or natural defenders in the right position. If they turn it on, we could be in for a really bad day. But we're in form. We haven't lost in the last 5. You know, they've only won 2 out of the last 11, as I say. It's a perfect opportunity. It's a massive opportunity to, you know, fill up the Stadium Light, get behind the lads and pick up a result. So, again, it's not going to be easy, but you have to feel at least marginally confident at the moment. You know, like I keep on saying, the stats with Watford, it's as black and white as, you know, they've only won 2 out of the last 11 or 10, however many it is. But how many times have we seen it over the years, particularly in recent times, where a team will come to us and it'll say something along the lines of, they haven't won away from home in 20 games, and then they come to Stadium Light and they piss all over us. Or a team who haven't managed to pick up any points in the last 10, then they come to Stadium Light and they piss all over us. It's just the way it works. We break other teams' ducks, and it happens time and time again, so it absolutely isn't out the realms of the possibility, or Jesus Christ, I can't talk. Out of the realms of possibility, whatever, for them to come and pick up 3 points. Hopefully that isn't the case. But getting into my preferred starting 11, it is just a couple of tweaks from the last game against West Brom, where I think we did really, really well, and we did a lot better than I thought. We had to defend for our lives at times, despite the, again, defensive frailties, as I've mentioned earlier. I've made a couple of changes, but this is what I am going to go with. So as you can see, at the moment, this can easily change. Yes, it's a 3 at the back. It might look defensive somewhat, but I have gone for O'Nien. I've got Sirkin and Hume as a back 3, with Clark as left wing back, Gooch at right wing back, Mishu coming in for Ekwa, and Daniel in the middle, with Roberts and Diallo either side of Gelhardt. But that would very easily change depending on the situation at the time. This is very much situational. If we're on the front foot, then it would go to this. The 4-2-3-1, which we're probably a bit more familiar with. Sirkin at left back, Gooch right back, O'Nien and Hume at centre back. Mishu and Neil in the middle as usual, with Clark, Roberts and Diallo behind Gelhardt. I think that's probably the best situation, the best line we could probably come up with. I have seen rumours that Ballard might be in contention for the last couple of games, potentially, but I think it is literally just a case of him getting back out on the grass. So I think it'd be far too much to ask of him, in my opinion, to throw him into the remaining games of the season. You never know. We don't know how he feels. He could feel absolutely fine. It could still be a tweak. I'd rather not, you know, throw him in there, even if there's a sort of 15-10% chance that it could recur, his injury, and I wouldn't want that at all, so I probably wouldn't risk it. But these are probably the lineups, or the lineup I would go with. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below, of course. But for my score predictions, despite the absolute defensive nightmare we've got at the minute, or this injury nightmares we've got, because we have got a list. We've got an absolute list, and we've had to put up with it all season, but we just keep going against the grain. We keep proving people wrong. Every time with the underdogs, because we have pretty much a starting 11 out injured, which we have for the remainder, for the majority of the season, as I say. We've still been picking up results, and with the team spirit and with the team spirit we've shown throughout the season, the campaign has been absolutely incredible, amazing. It really has. It's admirable the way these lads, and they're only young lads as well. They're only young lads. The amount of times we've gone into games this season, no striker, maybe one fit centre-back. So we've got a team with 9 midfielders in, and we've come away with wins, or at least great performances. For these young lads to really show the grit and determination and their sort of will and want and desire to get the ball on the ground and play football against all odds and still come away with victories, it has to be applauded. And, you know, I'm expecting a win. I don't know whether it's just my heart and my head getting ahead of me. But, and with a win, it puts us within just, it's like it puts us in through the skin of our teeth. We're only a tiny bit away. With a win on Saturday, it puts us so close to a playoff place. It really, really does. And of course, this week, it's been fantastic with both Burnley and Sheffield United winning, doing us favours. It's an incredible opportunity, a massive opportunity. I think if we did get in the playoffs, it wouldn't be like, for me, I probably wouldn't have the sort of hope and the expectation that I did when we were in League One, of course, because we were expected to go up in League One, as we were for the whole time we're in there. We were sort of the big fish in a little pond almost, with no disrespect. So I was always willing, and obviously I would will us to go up anyway, regardless of what division we're in. But I was more bothered and I was absolutely desperate. Whereas with this, I think regardless of what happens from here on out, we've had a cracking season. It's our return season to the Championship. So if we did get knocked out of the playoffs, if we were to get in the playoffs, or if we are to get in the playoffs, I wouldn't be utterly heartbroken. Of course, I'd be a bit gutted because we were very, very close. But the lads have, not only have they overperformed, but they've overperformed immensely. Or at least they've taken to Championship football so incredibly well. So I don't think I would be as heartbroken. I say that now. If it was to happen, I probably would cry and scream and shout on it. But either way, that's just emotion for you. But in terms of my predictions for this game, I am going to predict a Sunderland 2-0 win. I think we're going to keep a clean sheet. We will go through phases. I believe that we will be defending for our lives because of the defensive frailties, which I keep on alluding to. But I think we will manage to keep a clean sheet at the Stadium of Light. The Stadium of Light home form hasn't been great, but I just think it's all so well set up with the results that have gone for us this week. And then for us to pack out that stadium, Watford, their confidence will be rock bottom at the minute. Let's take advantage and let's go for the 2-0 win. So that is what I'm going to go for. Also, before we do round up and wrap up this video, the awards were done last night, the club awards, the player awards. And I was actually going to do my player awards today. But then they've gone and done theirs, so it might just look like I'm sort of copy and pasting a little bit anyway. But I'm going to do it next week, I think. But I will say congratulations to Danny Bart, who got the Players Player of the Year, or the Supporters Player of the Year. Thoroughly deserved. Diallo got Young Player of the Year, and Clark got Goal of the Season for the goal against Reading, which it absolutely it should be the case. It was a phenomenal goal, great passing goal, great team goal. But it just shows, doesn't it, how good of a season we've had. You know, there was literally 6 or 7 players who had genuine shouts to be player of the season, and I couldn't have argued against any of them getting it. It's mad that so many players, I feel that they are hard done by because they haven't won player of the season. But I also agree that Danny Bart did, or Diallo got Young Player. Do you know what I mean? So it shows and speaks volumes of this team at the moment. But that is it, guys. Let me know in the comments down below who you would go with for this weekend's game against Watford and what the score is going to be. But if you've enjoyed, hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, take care, stay jamming.